Hello everybody and welcome back to my Dark Souls 1 playthrough. Thank you again everybody that's been liking, subscribing, etc. to these videos. It means a lot to me. I know that I'm kind of getting through these intros pretty quick now that I've gotten the hang of things. But I really do appreciate everything that you guys are doing to get these videos out there, get them likes, get them reblogs, and all that good stuff. So you're going to see that I am hollow, 1, and then I have a whole lot less souls than I did before. We had like 47,000, I think, at the end of last video, and that's because I did a couple things off camera. First thing I did was get our Zweihander upgraded to Divine +5, so it's now split 176 physical damage, 214 magic damage, skills C with Faith, D with Strength. We still do comparable damage to what we were doing before. So against anything basically that doesn't resist magic by a whole bunch, we're going to be doing basically the same damage. And then we have the added bonus of dealing additional damage to enemies of the gods. I also pumped our Faith up to 23 to give us a little bit of extra scaling. Like I said, Vitality and Endurance are going to stay there. Strength and Dexterity also probably going to stay there. The only things that we're going to be leveling for the time being are Faith and Attunement. And Attunement for more miracle slots, and then Faith, obviously, for access to higher level miracles, and then for better scaling on our weapon. So we're here. I made the decision that we're actually going to do Anor Londo, the first part of Anor Londo, and probably the Painted World of Ariamis before we go back and do the Catacombs. We will not be doing the boss fight of Anor Londo, though. We're not going to be doing Ornstein and Smo for probably at least 3 episodes, because I want to get the Dark Ember and then have an Occult +5 Zwei before we go in there to get the damage bonus against them, to make that fight go as smoothly as possible, because I am not exaggerating when I say it. That is like my worst boss fight in the entire series. So, today, we're back at Sen's Fortress, and this is how we get to Anor Londo the first time, and any time that we do not have the Lord Vessel to warp us. We examine this ring of light, and this cutscene plays. Oh, our first look at Anor Londo, the City of the Gods, and it is an impressive looking place indeed. It's very expansive, and it seems to be definitely in less of a state of disrepair than the rest of Lordran, or at the very least the Undead Burg, and what we've seen. So yeah, this is situated, again, higher over the Undead Burg than even other parts of Lordran are, which makes sense for a City of the Gods. This is probably, I think, one of the coolest environments in the game, just because, I don't know, that whole evening feel is really cool, as well as just how far into the city you can see. We won't be able to explore much of it, unfortunately, because the level is pretty contained to this segment over here, and then the Grand Cathedral. But the Grand Cathedral is a big place, and we're going to be getting a lot of mileage out of that. I just realized we forgot to get poison arrows before coming over here, so one of these parts is going to be really frustrating unless I go back and get it off camera or something. But, oh well. So these guys are some of the enemies. The giant sentinels. You can actually, right over there, see the Duke's Archives that are towering above everything. That's a late game area we'll get to eventually. But these big guys, if you hit their shields, it's not going to do any damage, so they can be kind of a hassle to kill. But they're not as annoying as the even bigger sentinels we're going to find later that also have access to some miracles. Those guys are pains in the ass. But we should probably light the first bonfire of Anor Londo. Actually, off camera, I went into the catacombs to see if I could get some divine upgrade materials before we hit there. But unfortunately, I died, and then I decided that my commentary wasn't that great. So, you know what, I'm going to just skip it over and then do Anor Londo instead. But we'll rest here, because we're going to be here for a while. And we eventually want to be able to homeward bound back to this bonfire, because we're going to have to leave and get poison arrows to come back and deal with a couple of Silver Knights and hit the Grand Cathedral. This is another bonfire keeper, so we can actually upgrade our Estus flask here, but she has some dialogue for us.
Well, you are a rare visitor. Welcome to the lost city of Anor Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you. What is it? What am I? Well, I am the keeper of the bonfire. If not for me, what beacon would there be in this lost city? A gatekeeper and a guide. That is my calling.
So you'll see from her dialogue, and in other places, that the gods have abandoned Anor Londo, at least most of them, and we'll see which gods have stayed, and then what that significance is as we get deeper into the level.
The bonfires attended by the keepers are special. They are linked to one another, and their flames never die. Yet never shall the keepers of these flames meet.
So that last sentence, I mean, they can never meet because they can never leave these bonfires. Their fire would go out if they were to leave, because they are the source. They have that infinite humanity crawling just beneath their skin that serves as the source of the flame to these bonfires. And that's why all of the Firekeeper bonfires are lit upon our arrival instead of us having to light them ourselves.
If you require rest, now is the time. That is, after all, what the bonfire is for.
Yeah. Cool NPC. I think that's all the dialogue she has for us.
If you require rest...
Yep. So we already rested. We don't have anything else to do. We can't reverse our hollowing. So really the only thing left is to set out. Before we do that, I'm going to head over here. And then hopefully show you how to deal with these giants, because I don't remember what's in these chests behind them, but might as well get it. Yeah, come on. Dealing with them in pairs can be pretty annoying, though. We'll see if we can do this without dying. Their attack range is very long. Hopefully, what I want to do is get one of them to aggro and then the other to reset when we pass this door. Some of the enemy AI kind of wonks out in Anor Londo because they're not like allowed in certain parts of the area. So you'll see that guy's backing off. We do a lot of damage to these guys, though, thankfully. However, if you get one of them to attack, what's usually going to happen is that the other will come over and attack as well. And you'll see we actually hit his shield that time, so we didn't do any damage to him. You always want to be careful not to get blindsided by a couple of these guys at a time, because their attack range is long. Alright, man. You're going to have to work with me here. I want to kill you, but you need to want me to kill you as well. Come on. Oh, look at those perfect iframes. Jesus. Of course I get hit by that. Cut me some slack. That was actually pretty lucky dodge, holy shit. Come on. Oh. trying to sneak a hit in around his shield, but not really working that great. Alright, fucker. I'll heal right in your face, idiot. Oh man, my button press didn't go through again. Fuck this controller. Oh, you gotta be joking me. Here, I'm gonna go around you this time. Okay, and I missed him right through his legs. You gotta be... Ah! I fucking hate these enemies, dude. So many of the enemies in Anor Londo are just pains in the ass to deal with. These guys are no exception. Whatever, I'll take that hit. You want to be careful. Their attacks are slow enough so that they can combo you out a little bit when you're getting up. So really the best course of action is to not get hit at all. Alright. Dealing with them one at a time isn't that tough, because their attacks are slow. Even though they're strong, they're easy to dodge. So you'll see by the slew of messages over here that this is another mimic. That chain is curling forward as opposed to this other one that's curling backwards. And it looks like it's a slightly lighter color too. I don't know if that's something shared by all the mimics. Because they're usually not together with regular chests. So we'll pop a Lloyd's Talisman on this boy. And get this drop. The Crystal Halberd. Cool. This one we'll just go ahead and pick up. Twinkling Titanite. Nice. I'll just leave that Mimic because since we already got the drop, we don't really need to worry about him anymore. Also don't need to deal with that Sentinel because we are not interested in the Duke's Archives yet. What I really want to do is hit the Cathedral and then invade Lautrix so that we can get that Ring of Favor and Protection. Because that'll boost our endurance. Because right now, I don't like having low endurance with a high strength weapon because the swings just cost so much that you have to really... If you swing twice, you're leaving yourself either open to counterattack or... I mean, that's the biggest reason. If you swing twice, you're leaving yourself open to getting hit by pretty much anything. And depending on what some of the attacks these enemies use, that's not what you want to have happen. Fuck this gargoyle, man. They have kind of a lot of poise. So, one thing you want to be careful for is sometimes you're not going to be able to stagger them, like right off the bat. Like that. And I swung twice, left myself open. That Ring of Favor and Protection is really going to help when it comes to what we can do offensively, because it'll boost our endurance by a little bit. Or at least not our endurance necessarily, but our stamina. Alright. These guys are usually a lot more annoying to deal with when you have a lighter weapon that doesn't do as much damage per swing, because then you have to weather through a lot more of their attacks. With 100% physical block shield with good stability, it isn't that big a deal though. But obviously the Grass Crest shield isn't one of those, so. He dropped the Gargoyle Helm for us. We'll take a look at that. Helm of the Gargoyle, an enchanted creature that guarded the Bell of Awakening in the belfry of the Undead Church. This bronze helm was for mere appearance's sake, as gargoyle skin is naturally hard. Little in the way of defense can be expected from it. Yep, just as it said. Not much in the way of defense, but it's better than some of the other hoods, and even some of the other helms. It's better than the Balder helm, and the Hollow Soldier helm. Yeah, not really much else to say about it. You'll know that the Gargoyle helm doesn't reference the ones in Anor Londo. These over here are guaranteed basically to drop any items that you didn't get from the Belfry Gargoyle at the start. So we will, if we didn't get the Gargoyle Shield or the Gargoyle Halberd, we will have gotten those from the last Gargoyle on this level. Guaranteed. Because I think those weapons are needed for the achievement. Another chest over here. And it contains a Demon Titanite, one of the types of Titanite we actually haven't gotten yet. A special Titanite stolen from a faceless stone beast known as a Titanite demon. When the nameless blacksmith deity passed, from several slabs, great beasts arose. The power of Titanite remains within them, and they still roam Lordran today. So these are literally the faces of the Titanite or Prowling demons that we've seen in several locations in Lordran. We haven't actually killed one of them because, honestly, we haven't really had much of a need for Demon Titanite, which is the primary thing that they drop. And the Titanite catch pole that they drop isn't a good weapon anyway, so there hasn't really been a reason to go out of our way. We will kill a couple of them. We'll kill the Darkroot Garden one when we pass back through. But if you were to go to the end of this bridge, you'll see that big rotunda thing hasn't actually been turned to our level. We'll eventually be able to access that, but not right now. So what you need to do is walk over here next to the stairs, hop off there, and then you can walk across this balustrade to hit this kind of secondary chapel cathedral thing over here. I always liked this part. I thought it was cool. Kind of a tricky roll, though. I don't know if you can like fail it right off the bat, but you know. Knowing Dark Souls, fall deaths are definitely definitely a thing. So, oh, I've never actually noticed that there's a spot underneath the bridge too. That's cool. That's cool. But you're gonna come in through this shattered window, and you'll see a painting guardian up there getting ready to ambush us. Another one over there. So when you walk over this way, he's gonna drop off, and then we're gonna miss him because our lock-on failed. Oh, I forgot I wasn't two-handing. These guys can throw throwing knives. They can chug Estus. I'll try to show you some of the attacks because their attacks are pretty cool. They have that kind of spinning attack motion. If we get their swords, then we'll be able to replicate that to a certain extent. Nothing over there because it's blocked off by those kind of like decorative arches. Oh fuck. Here is potentially one of the more dangerous areas in Anor Londo. These platforms are very easy to fall off of, and you have to deal with the painting guardians constantly throwing knives at you. With a weapon that... oh, fuck. I don't want to get knocked off. And they can knock us off. But they can also fall off all the way to the floor, and they'll die. We can get down to that bottom floor too, and we will. There's some good stuff for us, and that's also really where we want to go. At least to the Painted World of Ariamis, that big painting. And because we got the pendant from earlier, or the broken doll or whatever we got from our cell in the Undead Asylum, that is where we're going to be going. It has the Dark Ember, and that is something, as I've said many times now, absolutely vital to our build. I wish this guy would quit chucking these things at us and come fight, though. Yeah, so sometimes if you just orient yourself near a corner, they'll happily kill themselves with a jumping attack or one of their painting guardians or normal R1s. Oh god. This time we're going to go ahead and not worry about that, though. We're going to kill him really quick because he can be a problem. Okay, so there's a chest over there and no obvious way to get to it. I forget if we have to roll over here. I think we can just do this. We can drop down here to these statues. 2 silver knights and then a statue of the second born of Guinevere, the goddess of bounty and fertility. And we will get an up-close and personal look at her later. So you can also roll through here, those arches, and that'll bring you to this secret passageway with a painting guardian hiding in ambush. I mean, he's really not that dangerous, but kind of a tricky place for an ambush. If you have trouble hitting him with horizontal attacks because of the close walls, you can just lead him over there to where we just came from. This is not a mimic. And this has Divine Blessing. Another Divine Blessing. I don't actually remember. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I do. You can walk off over here again to fall down to these statues. And then if you want to get back to the other area, you can go through this side instead of the other. If you're coming at this area from above, which I'll show in a second. Come on. You gonna attack me, buddy? Hello? Hello? Alright, well, I got the jump on him that time, but if you come over there from this side, see that's where we fought that last Painting Guardian before rolling off to get the chest. If you come at that room from this side, it looks kind of pointless, like there's nothing there, and that's because its really only function is so that you can get back from that shortcut over there, from that hidden area. So we'll head through the fog, and then this brings us to this rotunda that we saw. So now we know that we can access the rest of the level. Another gargoyle is lurking on that bridge leading up to Gwyn's Old Keep, which appears to be some sort of cathedral. This mechanism in the center is what allows us to move this thing up and down. You'll see that guy is just itching for a chance to kill us. But he's not going to get the chance yet. I forget what is down here to start. Nothing is down here to start. Okay. So yeah, one thing to note is that you can go down this staircase, and sometimes it'll lead you to different areas that otherwise you wouldn't be able to access. So we'll go ahead and we'll drop this by one position, and that'll connect both halves of the level. But that also allows this gargoyle to get at us. And this, not one of the better places to fight this guy, honestly. It's because it's kind of weird. He can get stuck on the terrain. Your attacks can bounce off the terrain too. His attacks are kind of... Okay, nice. He didn't hit us, though. His attacks can be kind of annoying to deal with, honestly. We might just one-hand this and let him do his thing. You can cut off his tail as well. I don't think you get another gargoyle tail actually doing that. That's only if you haven't gotten it from the Undead Chapel. And we staggered him there. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, he didn't do as much damage to us that time. Maybe because we were in the middle of attacking. Attacks of opportunity are something that enemies can take advantage of as well. So keep that in mind when you're fighting and thinking about trading damage. It definitely is a factor. But he's dead now. And that's the last gargoyle that we will see. They don't respawn. So, with that guy done, we can kind of explore this place at our leisure. This actually isn't the only way that you can... This isn't the only level that you can lower it to. You'll see that there is a passage down there that we can't access yet, so that means that we can turn that thing one more time counterclockwise, and that should bring us down there. But turning it once brings us here to the cathedral floor. You'll see those rafters that we jumped off, or walked across, not jumped off, early in the level. The dead bodies of some of the Painting Guardians that fell to their deaths. You want to aggro these guys either single or in pairs. Forgot. These things can curve around. If you're not familiar with how projectiles work in Dark Souls, they can curve around like architecture, because I mean, I guess it makes it easier for enemies to hit you. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't hit you very much. So archers, bows, these throwing knives will curve if you walk too far to the side. Their attacks are pretty quick, so we want to bait out one of the slower ones like that. And I missed. Nice. Bye, buddy. Throwing knives. They'll drop throwing knives. I think they'll drop their set. No, they won't drop their set. We can pick up their set in the Painted World, I think. But, they can drop their swords. which are pretty cool swords. They're one of the cooler, like, curved sword type weapons in the game, although they're very short range. So that's something to watch out for. Pop another heal instead of Estus. Get wrecked. You can kite these guys around the pillars so that they're forced to kind of come over and attack you. Oh, that guy rolled right into it. And we rolled... Oh, God! Oh, my God, he backstabbed us. You gotta be joking me. They can backstab you, too. Unfortunately, I just fucking rolled into that guy's attacks. Like an idiot. I guess you reap what you sow. Not too big a deal, though, since we actually activated that shortcut. And the gargoyles don't respawn, so we'll just have a quick run over there. I'm really looking forward to upgrading our armor, though. It's around this point in the game that I stopped using the black leather, generally. And I switched to a metal set. Not one of the heavier metal sets, but a metal set, nonetheless. I might use the chain, but that looks kind of lame, so... Balder armor, pretty fucking heavy, 10.9 pounds. So if I can avoid using something that'll put us over the equip burden, then I'm going to. 21.8 out of 90. I'm not good at math, so I don't know what 25% of that is. But that cathedral is absolutely immense. And we will have to trek pretty much through all of the insides in order to make it to the boss room. Although one thing that's good is that there are a lot of shortcuts, and there are a lot of things you can do to cut the level in half. Like I'm going to use a kind of trick to bypass the entire level so that we can unlock a shortcut, and then I'll go through the regular way and then do it how it's intended. Hopefully we won't die to these guys a bunch of times in between that, though. Doesn't look like we should. More throwing knives. Aggro these guys again. Come on, I just want to get my souls. I wonder if we should do the Painted World today. I mean, we probably could. It's not a super hard area, especially since the boss is optional. Man, this guy's good. I like using the roll attacks against these guys, which is why, because the reach is pretty good. And it's pretty fast, too. Get owned. And if they won't dodge, like, seeing you roll, so, it can be a little bit easier than trying to hit them with a strong attack or something. Because the recovery from those Y attacks can be pretty brutal. Another one down. This is the body that was on the chandelier. You can drop down the chandelier and get it, but then you have to homeward bone out. And that contains the sorcery Great Magic Weapon. Can we actually examine that? Great Magic Weapon. Sorcery which improves upon Magic Weapon. At Vinheim Dragon School, only magic swordsmen on special orders are allowed to learn the spell, which grants powerful augmentation to various weapons. Interesting. Another piece of info on the Vinheim Dragon School. They seem very combat-focused. A lot of their rings, a lot of their spells involve either subterfuge or direct combat, so that's interesting. And this seems to be, from what the armor is, the body of Black Iron Tarkus. We don't know how he managed to die. Perhaps he fell from the rafters, and then his body was dragged over here by the Painting Guardian. Maybe he got killed by the Painting Guardians. Who can say? But all we know is that that is the last time we ever see Black Iron Tarkus. Which is unfortunate, because he's a pretty cool guy. One of those, the soldiers of legend. Try amazing item. I think we are going to go ahead and at least get into the Painted World of Ariamis today, if not explore it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So we've been pulled in by the power of that doll. And here we are, the Painted World of Ariamis. There's no way back. The only way to exit this area, I think without Homeward boning out, is by clearing it. But like I said, the boss is optional. We're probably not going to fight the boss too, because we don't get very much out of killing her. But yeah, a really cool area in the game. Probably one of my favorite environments. This, I think, is where a lot of the things from the concept art and design works ended up, without any other sort of fit in the game. These poor guys impaled on spikes. And the first bonfire. I think the only bonfire. We're going to rest at it because this is the area that we're going to be doing next episode, but not this episode, because I think that we're just about out of time. I know not a whole lot got accomplished today, but the Painted World has a lot to it, so I don't want to jump in without being able to devote a full episode to its exploration and its enemies and the lore, etc., etc. So I think today this is where we're going to stop. Next time, this is the area we're going to be tackling, so stay tuned, and until then, I will see you later.